I'm with Carly. Carly, I want to know a little bit about you. So tell me like your testimony, your story.
Okay, so my story has been a while in the making, and it started really about middle school. I was sexually assaulted, and from that assault, I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't tell anybody at the time. I had the belief that it was somehow my fault. And of course, sexual assault is never the victim's fault. They need to get help for that if that's something they've experienced. But I kept it to myself and felt like it was something that, I must be a terrible person if God had me go through this sort of thing. And so I turned to diet and exercise because it was something that I had become good at. And when people started to say like, oh, I wish I had your discipline, or, I wish I was as dedicated as you, it made me feel like I was doing something good when I felt like I was a terrible person. And the more that I ended up starving myself, the more I became emotionally distant. So I didn't have to deal with a lot of those negative thoughts and emotions that I was experiencing from that assault. So flash forward to my senior year, and it was the worst I had gotten. I got down to 68 pounds my senior year of high school, and I went into a residential treatment center out in Arizona and found some healing there, but I came back and I still reverted to my own ways. I tell the students when I present that eating disorders are like an addiction. Just like drugs or alcohol, no one tries a drug with the intention of thinking, oh, I'm gonna become a drug addict. Yeah. And similarly, I think a lot of people who end up getting an eating disorder, they don't start with that intention. And so it was a big battle for me internally, and just finding my self-worth, finding that other areas of my life that I could excel in. And I went into another treatment center in the Chicago area in Naperville, Illinois. And I finally had a dietitian there tell me, she said, every day you continue your eating disorder, you're letting the people who sexually assaulted you still have power over you. Wow. And that was so impactful to me that just something in my brain kind of clicked over, and I decided, I'm gonna get my power back. I want to be Carly again, not this eating disorder. And the journey for recovery was still a long road. It took several years to go through physical therapy and still seeing a therapist here in the area. But, there's no looking back now. Yeah. You go from being a survivor to a thriver. And that's what I'd like to say about myself is I'm a thriver.
Carly, you're motivating me. I just want to go out and fight and lift weights right now. That's awesome. Yeah. So tell me why Respect Team?
So I feel like, if I can overcome all those things, I know that others, students have their own stories. They have their own challenges, their own barriers. But I hope that I can inspire and encourage them to overcome those and to, again, find their own power. And I just believe so much in the Respect Team and what they do for the community and for the students that my time and effort is well spent at any time that I'm working for them.
Yeah, you have an amazing testimony, and there's probably kids all across the nation that are going through similar instances, right?
Oh, yeah.
When they're watching right now, what can you tell them right now to encourage them?
I would tell them that they have something to offer to the world that no one else can. I mean, I know this is maybe a little bit cliche, but you are the best version of yourself. Josh, there's never going to be a better Josh than you, and there's never going to be a better Carly than myself, And so just find what you're good at, find what you're passionate about, and go after it. And be your own advocate, because no one else is going to do that for you. You got to find your own strength and just own who you are, and don't be afraid to share it to the world.